not in any way disrespect to the candidate pool we have. It's just that we have so many positions to fill, it'd be choosing all but one of the four that we have here. And I feel like there are quite a few people in this community that probably didn't know, and that's not any disrespect to the newspaper, but they kind of have a limited reach. Their own self-proclaimed stuff says they only have about 1,100 people reach. We have 10,000 people in the county, so I'd like to see us maybe take another round at letting people know this is happening. Maybe even, I don't know if this is probably not something we can take action on, but maybe not the classifieds. If we did newspaper again, maybe something a little more prominent and some radio. I'd be glad to get it out on the sources that I have and make sure people know. That's my thought.
Travis?
Yeah, following up with what Ian said, all the candidates, have, good qualifications, everything. I would just like to see someone though, they all kind of resonate from other board, planning boards and stuff. If we get applicants from, someone that's actively in construction or, some of these other, that could have a different look on stuff, just so we have a good, good balance and different views of issues, just so that, all the different aspects of projects and people involved, that there's someone with at least a little bit of grasp from other industries and stuff. So if we can't get them, then, that, that is what it is, but, would like to, just see if who we can pull and see what different points of view we can get.
Shane?
If the commission would like to go for another round of advertising, I'm fine with that. And if you're comfortable with making a decision, that's fine, but it sounds like we're kind of leaning towards just pushing back one more round. If we go in a couple of weeks, and I'm fine with that as well.
Me too.
Okay, Mike's mentioned that we have possibly, maybe even probably, a special meeting that we're gonna have to hold before the end of the year, possibly.
Yeah, so what I was, if we could look at a calendar, Mr. Chairman, and pick just an afternoon for 1 hour before the end of the year, that Nicole has enough time to advertise and post. We'll have at least the one item to the Special Fire Commission to approve the audit from him, Burdick. Okay, that has to be done before the end of the year. And then place on there the appointment of the 3 representatives for the county side of the Regional Planning Commission. And then we can put a deadline to get applications in to Nicole the morning of, or the day before or something like that, so she can prepare that and pass it out during the meeting. So if the chairman can set the meeting and ask he just said it, a special meeting. Like I said, I was just thinking about an hour.
Yeah.
And you can call, if you're out of town, you can call in and be present via telephone as well. Because what's nice is these applicants have been able to be heard today.
Yeah.
And so they can come or not come, it's up to them as well.
I think that all 4 of these candidates have been community oriented. I mean, they're really involved in a lot of different ways. If we're having a special meeting and we can get this done and we actually make it a discussion with action that we appoint. So that we don't ask other people to come here and go 3 or 4 meetings and have you come back. We set the date of the meeting. New Year's Day is January the 1st, we have to have it before that, so
Right. What day of the week is January the 1st?
Wednesday,
Maybe we can hold the meeting on Monday afternoon.
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve Eves.
The day before, the 30th.
Okay, so let's look at a 1 o'clock.
Are we really giving it enough time?
We have
Not do
to.
it in the first,
I think,
or it'd be restricting
well,
the city?
no, because
Because
they have their own
people are gone
applicants.
in holidays
Yeah,
too.
and they don't have to be here to be considered appointment if they put in
Okay,
good enough materials, And if we don't get any applicants, we have applicants here that are qualified as well. We wanted to be fair to the rest of the community, because, I mean, out of the 1,000 people that get the paper, I bet a smaller percentage of that even read the classifieds. I don't.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
because I'm not interested in anything they're selling in the classifieds. So.
Is there another way we can get word of mouth or word out there?
Well,
Ian's mentioned.
Ian's
social
gonna
media.
he's gonna do his social media and the radio, and then maybe we can ask Jerry Wapshall to put something on her page. And then each of us have our constituents in circles, and we can just try to get the word out and see if there's any other interest. If not, there's not, and if, so that Monday, I think, is, if it's just maybe a 1 o'clock meeting for an hour.
Okay.
Monday's the 30, or was
When, Tuesday, the 30th of December.
Monday.
Well, we go Monday,
I thought the first was on Wednesday.
it is.
the
Right.
first is on
Oh,
Wednesday,
it's the
so we
30th
did on
and
Monday,
31st.
the 30th.
So Monday the 30th?
Yes, because it's less likely to get participation on New Year's Eve, probably.
Shane, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay, let's go Monday the
I'll go to
30th, 1 o'clock. But I would like to tell each and every person who showed up here today, thank you very much. You're all qualified, every one of you. I know each of you, maybe some better than others, but we're gonna do this, and then on the 30th, we'll make the appointment. And I think that's the fair way to do it. I think that we actually pick the 3 people we're gonna have on that day, no matter what.
And then we can just tell them to get their applications in maybe by 9 AM on the 30th.
Yeah.
And then we can just pass them out here,
Okay.
whatever materials they present. And then if any of the applicants today want to supplement their materials, they're more than welcome to.
So what kind of a motion do I want here?
Richard, can I make one comment?
Please.
If you're gonna do a newspaper ad, I would say encourage people with computer skills to join the planning commission, especially younger people. We're trying to get younger people in this town to join some of these boards. And we need to have somebody with computer skills so we can work on the master plan. It's really a necessary thing to start going on.
But I think computer skills are a plus, we can't demand it by any means.
I know, but I'm just saying it would help.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's one other thing here, the language in this item that says 1 member cannot hold another public office. It should read only 1 member can hold a public office, elected public office. We just need to reverse that language, and so we just need a motion to table right now.
That's probably, okay, I'm looking for a motion, if I can get one, to table, the regional planning commission till Monday, December 30th at 1 o'clock.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Lori and a second by Travis. Any further discussion by the commission? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Okay, thank you all. We're gonna have that on Monday, the 30th at 1 o'clock here in the library.
Thank you.
Okay, we are now gonna go.
To be recognized for additional services rendered, so we itemize what those additional services were. And the overall summary on this is that it's a $5,000 increase in the first year, bearing in mind that his last contract was a 3-year contract, providing for an increase of pay annually based on his evaluation, which was never done. So this is kind of catching him up. And then after that initial increase, a 1% annually after that, based on a positive evaluation. So that is the proposal. The total cost in your, on an annual basis is gonna be $6,761 in the first year of his contract, and then you'll have a 1% increase on top of that annually. And so because his contract goes from January 1st to December 31st, you will have to augment this year's budget by approximately $3,380. You do have adequate beginning fund balance to legally augment that budget to provide for that increase in pay. And Tim, did you have anything else to add?
No, that was,
I'm happy now that we have a system in place for evaluating. Thank you, Tim. And
I was contacted by Randy last night. He had come up with this list kind of after his discussion on the 1%, and it's not, I mean, he did ask that we may entertain considering 2%.
That was part of the
Later.
discussion in providing the $5,000 in beginning, because we had proposed a higher annual increase, and he said he'd rather have a higher upfront and a 1% increase. So I would say that is contrary to what we had discussed during our session with him. But it is up to the county commission to go ahead and make that decision.
Right, it was just after he had compiled this list and he got to looking at the hours that he did put in, in doing these items that are outside of his contract, he asked that we maybe consider the 2%, but, and that was just last night. He asked me to apologize that he couldn't be here to make that request himself, that he had to leave for Texas this morning.
Yeah, but we did discuss a higher,
That was initially what was on the table was a
Yeah.
higher.
That's, I just relaying what,
right.
the information that he gave to me last night.
Mhm. And one of the things that we did discuss is that this exhibit A that he turned in is that these are not necessarily his primary duties because that's performed by our seasonal workers, but he does fill in on those items. So he doesn't do, you know, all of the work that's set out here every day as a primary responsibility. It's just
Absolutely.
additional work he
These are
brings in.
additional, that he
Yeah.
just,
When seasonal is not available or he sees something on the course and he just does it because he's the golf pro.
Right.
So,
And he has done those, I see him on there every day, I'm there a lot, and he does do those. However, it was negotiated between you guys and what you decided, and he was in agreement, the 2%. But here's the other factor there, and I got no problem with this, so don't read me wrong. He's also got other avenues of compensation throughout the contract.
Correct.
Golf balls, driving range, all the stuff that goes with that.
Snack shop.
So, there are, the salary, I think you guys negotiated a good one, I think it's fair that you go the 1% per year, but I'm looking not at the possible 2, I'm looking at his other means of revenue, and there are several. And so, to be honest, or to give you my opinion, you negotiated a contract in good faith that what we decided here, that what we see in front of us, and it was agreed to. I think because the other possibilities of making revenue, I don't see you losing to go to 2%. I think if we go this route with the 1% locked in for the next couple of years, because there are other avenues to make some money. Granted, he works, and I see him, he does go out, and when you see him, he's out there the other day raking, he does all that. But in order to serve a good product, you have to put in a little extra time, so.
and I'm not advocating for it, I'm just passing along his word, his words.
I understand
Yeah.
that, but I'm just saying what I think about the
Yeah,
contract.
yeah, don't shoot the messenger, I'm so.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not
Mr.
doing
Chairman, if I could just kind of clarify, because as we were going through the negotiation process, Randy had alluded that there was other things that he did on the side that were not spelled out in the contract. And at that point, we had asked, well, what kind of things? And he said that he could create a list for us. So that wasn't a contingency on the percentage that we were agreeing to. It was meant as an addendum to, hey, this is what we're doing, but we'd like to get clarification on what are those other things that you're doing. So it's more of a justification on the increase that we're proposing for him.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to say as far as this contract goes before we either call for a vote and get a motion on as to what, do we want to motion the contract as we receive it in front of us? So that's, do we allow public comment right now, Mike?
I wouldn't.
So we've listened to it, I think I'm asking all the commissioners, they got something to say, if not, we'll look for a motion to go forward with the contract.
I move to approve it, as it is.
As is.
Second.
Motion by Ian to approve it as is, a second by Travis. Any further discussion? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? And that's unanimous. Okay. So item A is done. $1,333, and it will be provided through the following funding.
This has been a Georgetown production. George Chatchis reporting. The preceding program was sponsored by the Greek. It is Radio Shack dealer at 570 Altman in downtown Ely and brought to you as a public service by KGTV Channel 10 in Ely, Nevada.